So this lesson is on divisibility. We're also going to just go over some basic definitions that we use when we are solving problems that involve division. So we'll say that a number is divisible by another number if the result of the division is a whole number with a remainder of 0. So in this case, we're dividing 84 by 8. We're going to find out if 8 goes into 84 without a remainder. If it does, then we can say that 84 is divisible by 8. If it does not, and there's a remainder, then we come up with a different answer. So just finishing this problem, and we see that in fact there's a remainder of 0.5 or 1/2. And just to go over the terminology, when we talk about the 8 here, that 8 is the divisor. And the answer to the problem on the very top, 10.5, that number is the quotient. And then the number that's inside the house, the 84, I'll just circle it, that number is the dividend. So, what do we think? Is 84 divisible by 8? I think we already have established that because of the remainder, that 84 is not divisible by 8. So the rules of divisibility. These are going to come fairly quickly. I'm going to see if I can pause this. There we go. Oh, goody. So numbers that end in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, even numbers, are divisible by 2. The example here is 28 is divisible by 2. We know that because it ends with an even number, 8. So next, how about 3? A number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. So what we mean is when we add up the digits, is that number, the answer to that equation, is it divisible by 3? So we're going to take a look at 237. If I take 2 plus 3 plus 7, it equals 12. And 12 is divisible by 3. Therefore, we know that 237 is also divisible by 3. So next, how about 5? What is the rule for 5? A number is divisible by 5 if it ends in 0 or 5. So that's pretty straightforward. You can think of some numbers right now that end in 0 or 5 and know that you automatically know you don't even have to do the long division problem. You know it's going to be divisible by 5. So 500 we know because it ends in 0. How about 6? This one is a little bit more complicated. It involves two parts. The number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. So going back to that rule for number 2, you're looking to see, is the number even? So for example, the number 186 is divisible by 6 because it's even. And the sum of the digits, when we add them up, 1 plus 8 plus 6, which is 15, is divisible by 3, and that's the rule for number 3. So since both of those rules work, we know it's also divisible by 6. Next, we're going to go to 9. The divisibility rule for 9 is just like the rule for number 3. If a number is divisible by 9 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 9. For example, 4,266 is divisible by 9 because 4 plus 2 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. And 18 we know is divisible by 9. And then the last one is probably the easiest one, and that is 10. And the rule for that is we know a number is divisible by 10 if the number ends in 0. So any number that ends in 0, you know automatically is divisible by 10. So these are the rules of divisibility. They're here for you to go back and refer to them. And let's see if I can move that forward a little bit and move it down. Let's see here. Okay. There we go.